going on, everyone? I'm Brad, that's Chloe, and Tallulah is right there. We're really sorry about not getting a video out the past couple of weeks. We've been really busy with all these renovations. This basement construction is especially time consuming and confusing, but we're gonna try to get the videos out just like we do in the past. Today, we're gonna talk about how we found our house hacking tenants, how we live with them, and just how we like manage them, how we set up the leases, and because we feel like it's kind of like the scariest thing with house hacking is living with people and also being the landlord, which is understandable, but we're gonna show it's really not that scary. We're also gonna be moving all this flooring down here today. So when we first listed this place out, we just had an Airbnb and it was all right. Like we were getting some people, they were fine, they didn't cause any trouble, weren't that loud, but we weren't charging that much because we didn't have any reviews. So we kind of wanted to start low, build that review background and history, and then kind of like work our way from there. So ever since then, we've kind of like raising prices as our reviews get better. Not by much, but just by a little bit. Anyway, so the month of February we did mostly Airbnb, and then this one guy who's been staying with us since February, he stayed with us for 2 weeks, and he decided he wanted to stay here for longer. So at the end of February, we signed a 6-month lease with him, and so he's been with us ever since then, and he's been great. And then coronavirus hit in March, and we only had him, and we had some Airbnb people, but they weren't very long term. So we kind of scrambled to find some longer term tenants, and luckily we had a Facebook marketplace posting, and we found this great couple. This one woman reached out to us, and she seemed great, so we were able to run their credit, run their background check and all that within a timely manner, and we got them rented out. And they've also been with us since March now, so for almost 6 months now.
Beep beep.
Oops. So since March, we've had 2 rooms filled with long-term tenants, and it's been pretty good. We all know how we live. We know our dinner schedules. We know, our work schedules, who comes home when, and all that. It's a pretty good dynamic, and we definitely have our run-ins every now and then. But with just good communication, we're able to figure most things out. So our favorite ways to find tenants are, I would say, Airbnb and Facebook Marketplace are what we used. We like both of them because you can see a lot about the person from their profile. So like Airbnb, they have previous reviews from previous hosts, and that's really valuable to us because those are people who are doing what we're doing, and so it's really valuable to see what their input is about the person. And with Facebook Marketplace, it's really nice to see their Facebook profile. You can just kind of scroll through and look at their past pictures and get a good idea of who they are. In terms of the lease, you just want to be really clear about what the whole situation is. You can spell out as much as you want. Probably more is better than less. But we have found what works best for us is just communication. So you're saying, hey, this is how it is and this is what we're going to do. Let us know if you want something else. And really just have like an open line of communication. It works best for us. Really, I would say that finding and managing tenants has probably been one of the easiest things of house hacking so far. It's definitely one of the scariest at first, but we really haven't had many issues with it. Yeah, so there have been points where we're like, oh, this is like not very fun. Like for example, one of our tenants inadvertently clogged the drain in the kitchen sink, and that backed up into the shower in the basement that we use, and then all this like murky gray water that smelled really bad just came up because that was the path of least resistance. And so we just had to clean that up, and that was a huge mess. And we just talked to him, and he was apologetic and understood what he did wrong. He hasn't done it again. So step by step, let's say you're doing this for the first time and you're really worried about it. So you gotta know, are you gonna do this room by room, or are you gonna do this as you're renting a bunch of rooms out, so multiple people? Let's just take room by room for example, because that's probably what you're doing for house hacking. So you wanna make sure the room is all good, get some good pictures of it, good lighting, and feel free to spend like, I don't know, $100 to get professional pictures. It'll really help get better tenants. So then you choose your platform of choice, whether it be Facebook, Airbnb, where else, like Roomster, Zillow if you want to be really good. But we have found that like Airbnb and Facebook are really good because those are like younger people like us looking for individual cheaper rooms to rent, which is exactly what you're providing. And there's plenty of ways to do this, to be flexible with the length. So for example, Airbnb has a setting where you can change like the minimum stay or maximum stay, so it's really flexible that way. And once you get the tenant in your house, you can be like, hey, would you want to stay longer? And it's a much more open line of communication at that point, because if you haven't accepted their request from Airbnb, then Airbnb will actually block you from messaging them outside of their app. Okay, so then if you're going through Airbnb, I would say just be really diligent about the reviews, and if they don't have any reviews, maybe ask them more questions beforehand. Another nice thing that's nice about Airbnb is that they insure damages up to $1 million. So if anything happens, if you're not happy with anything, you can file reports, and we haven't done one yet, but we've seen that they're pretty understanding of them. And keep in mind, those are only for stays that are Airbnb stays that are governed by Airbnb. Okay, but let's say you're going for a long-term tenant, one that you found at Facebook Marketplace or wherever else you found them, and you say, hey, I got a room for you. Okay, then you need to screen them, and screening them is really important. So what we use is we use Zillow, and so we had them just fill out a $30 application form, and that had a credit check and background check, and it also verified other things like their employment, which is really important. So for their credit, we like to see that they have at least a 650 credit score. This is a good indicator if they'll pay rent and pay it on time, which is really important for you. You really want that. If you want to be more thorough, you totally can. You can ask for references from their previous landlords. You can verify their employment, ask for a paycheck. There's lots of ways you can go about this. If they look good to you, let them know they got the room, and then you should have a lease prepared. So for example, we use Law Depot, and this is just some generic lease, but you can really itemize it how you want. So we have a description section that says, you know, here are the rules for the kitchens, bathroom, like what you'll clean, blah, 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 all that. And then once that's ready, walk through that with them, say, you know, here's what it is, here's what the rules are. So make sure you both have it in writing and verbally, so that everything is just really clear. You know, have them sign that, give them the keys, and then should be good to go from there. So like we said, we've had 2 long-term tenants since March, and with our 3rd bedroom, we've been Airbnb-ing out that room, as you can see in our past videos. And again, it just has to do with communication. We tell our long-term tenants well in advance, like, hey, there's going to be an Airbnb guest from this date to this date, and we read the Airbnb guest reviews, and we also tell the Airbnb guest, hey, you know, even though it says this in the description how our house is, here's what it is. We have a dog, there's 2 other rooms that are filled, there's only 1 bathroom, you're showing a bathroom. So again, this is not a luxury hotel here, but we're really just trying to cater to, you know, people who just want a simple room to stay in. And if they're not okay with that, then I totally understand, and we just say, okay, no deal. And of course, we have had people who have said, okay, no, like now that's more clear, I don't want that, which is why it's so important to just communicate this up front, so that you're not communicating it when they're already here and planning on staying here. Okay, and just in case you think we're Airbnb noobs, here's my profile. So you can see that we are super hosts. So that just comes with being an Airbnb host for long enough, doing it for long enough, having enough people. Got 15 reviews, and 14 of those are from the guests we've had. So you can feel free to scroll through and read these reviews. You know, you even got to load more reviews. So just this shows, you know, how it's really not that hard. I promise I do not spend that much time on being a good Airbnb host. I promise most of the time goes into fixing the place up. And if you've been diligent, yes, we are not above using our friends for reviews. So thank you, Samantha Fisher. And also thank you to Marika, who was our first review. Anyway, guys, just want to show, like, we really do not spend that much time being Airbnb guests, and we make some good money from it.
We've re-gifted it. That's a great way to put that.
Alright guys, so in the basement there's no more flooring here anymore. It's just Tallulah and some trash. So we took out this linoleum right here, and then the rest of this bedroom had carpet. And you know, we could have kept both, but we thought the carpet was especially grungy. It smelled bad, and especially with the families, tenants, dogs, and water being down in the basement, we're gonna go with a luxury vinyl plank down here. So that's just scratch proof and waterproof, which we love, and we have it upstairs, so we're gonna just match it in the whole house. Anyway, so we took it all out here. No more, you can see, just Tallulah. And there's no lighting down here because we have disconnected electrical too, so you just got the light from my camera. And all this white stuff on the floor is probably drywall mud, but we don't know. Anyway, this basement project is getting underway, but we still have lots of questions, and so we'll probably reach out to some local experts on what to do. Alright guys, so there's kind of an overview of how we handle tenants, and I know it's scary. I know you don't want to live with roommates. I know it's a lot to manage them. It could be weirdos, you know, they maybe not pay rent. I totally get it, but seriously, like, we have 3 rooms with a bunch of different people that we manage this are. And I promise you, it is not nearly as hard as fixing this place up. Fixing this place up is way harder than managing the tenants who basically just chill out in their rooms all day and, you know, cook dinner once a day. I know we probably missed a lot of detail on that, so please always feel free to reach out. Follow us on Instagram at brad.and.chloe. And always feel free to reach out with questions, comments, anything you got. And please make sure that like button turns blue. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great day.